About the futures of the futures and speak to our studio guest, Simon Chu, Regional Vice President of Cornerstone Financial Strategies. Welcome to the show, Simon. Let's start by talking about Fang Xinghai's comments as saying that lack of talent and also legislation are the main constraints holding back development of China's futures market. Your thoughts?
I believe we are not lack of talent, but we lack of legislation. That's for sure. Because for the future market in London and US, which has been developing for over 100 years, but China only starting for 20 years. So we already make a great progress. Pretty much we have about 46 commodities trading in the market right now, but we're still as a beginner. So I believe we need more legislation, and also we have enough talent to handle this kind of situation in the near future.
And is that taking place, the legislative procedure?
I think it's taking place, but we need more complete to fit into the international market.
And is that what's caused the gyrations in the futures market in the past few months in China?
That's not because of legislation. It's all because of the people speculating that the central bank is going to losing the monetary policy. So they just speculate the market. They try to trade more and more activities. So they drive the market ups and down. We're volatile for the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. And those measures taken by the futures exchanges, do you think they have worked and they will prevent future speculative behavior?
We need to see in the future, because we didn't have a major crash, a major issue yet, but when things happen, then we will see.
Right. And China really wants to play a key role in terms of setting prices for commodities around the world because it's such a huge user.
Definitely.
So what would be an ideal roadmap for China to do that?
I believe we have a long way to go in order to set the price for the commodity market, but obviously in the past we saw China run a long way in a short period of time. So I believe it can happen in the next decade or something. I believe the four things, it's very important. First of all, the government has to set the rules and regulations to govern the market activities. That's very important. And number two, the government has to put their hands away from the market. So in order to attract the investors, especially the major foreign investors, you have to have 100% free market. You have to respect that.
Yes. Easier said than done.
Definitely. Easier said than done. That's true, but it has to be done. Otherwise, no one wants to invest in the market because they can change the policy every other day. So how can they, place a bid, right? Once the first two things are being done, the third thing will happen is they will start to promote and attract the major foreign investors to participate in the China market. And once that happens, they will build a confidence for the local investors and the smaller foreign and local investors to involve in the market. Which once we have a big market and a huge free market, it's easy to set the price for the commodity.
True.
Future, yeah.
Okay, you're usually based in New York and you come to China about 3 times a year. What's your prognosis as a sort of an outsider on the Chinese economy?
The Chinese economy, I think in the short term, they're facing some challenges. But obviously for the long term, I believe most of the people still believe there will be a bright future because we have been up for about 30 years. It's very normal to have a setback and before they can take off again. Mm-hmm. I think most of the China economists believe that will be the case.
Okay. Be more specific about the concerns.
The concern is because we have a lot of debt crisis, because we let the bank lend a lot of money to the business. Right?
And the exact amount keeps changing depending on which institution you speak to.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why we don't have the fixed number. It depends on who speaks. But mostly we're expecting a huge amount, and then from the government-owned companies, and if that becomes the issue, that we have a lot of debt. So it's like it can become a supply mortgages in US because you lend out the money, you cannot get it back. So it can be a big issue. But also China have a lot of monetary reserve, so we still believe it can handle the problem on its own. If the government has no money, like US, it will become a big problem. You have the money, you can still pump in the money to solve the problem.
Yeah. So 50% savings rate is still
yeah, right. I mean, that's a 50% saving rate for the people.
Yeah.
The central bank still have a lot of US dollar conservation to help, to save the market.
Speaking of the financial crisis, you've written a book about it.
Yes,
right?
I wrote
and you've got
3
2
books.
chapters. You've got chapters on China.
Yes.
What would that be about?
That's about, in the beginning, we just expecting there's a market crash, so we wrote a book on how to avoid and take the advantage of it after the crisis. And the last book, we talk about how to make a country stronger, meaning we mentioned earlier, we need to have a strong government, and also we need to have government put their hands away for the market, because the biggest contradiction in the Chinese market is the central control and the free market. There's a deng shopping style and the Mao style, right?
Yeah, it's very schizophrenic.
Yeah, because they switch from one side to the other and swing back. So we need to
It
get a
confuses
balance.
a lot of investors.
Exactly, and then they don't know what to do, they will leave the market. So that causes a problem. For the long run, we have to set a free market, and government play the role as to set the rules and regulations instead of play the hands on the market, which will make the future brighter.
Okay, thank you very much for the discussion. I hope it was worth you running from the subway station.
Thank you.
To find CCTV. Okay, that was Simon Chu, Regional Vice President of Cornerstone.